What up, YouTube? This is the Lawbringer, and I'm here today to talk to you about the PNY GTX 970 card and whether or not it works in the X51 R2. The short answer is yes, it runs like a dream. It works perfectly. I play everything at max, and I couldn't be happier. Now to digress. Before obtaining this specific card, I did have the EVGA reference overclock version, and that version of the card worked okay. And the reason why I said it worked okay is that after putting it in my system, after about 4 days, over the course of about 4 days, I experienced shutdowns at various points in games, playing Battlefield 4, Far Cry 3, Crysis 3, just testing it out, trying to take it through its paces. Before I go any further, this is not a video about the specific frames per second that you get or the numbers that I got back. This is just to answer the short burning question on every X51 owner's mind. Does this card work in the X51 R2 version of the computer? And yes, it does. I can't speak to the X51 R1 version. El Master Gamer and Irish Lad, they've done a tremendous job of putting information out there about that version of the system. I'm just here to give a short, sweet gamer's take on whether or not the card works. Now, back to the EVGA overclock version of the 970. I had that in my system, experienced shutdowns at various points through the game, because one thing you have to remember is that these cards overclock themselves a little anyway, and the overclock version is obviously overclocked, so it will overclock more than the stock version overclocks, and even more so because it is factory overclocked. So as El Master Gamer said, be careful with the overclocked version. And for me, I found that I had to do too many tweaks. I had to underclock it. I had to change the power management settings of Windows to balanced. I like to keep my power management settings at performance. And I just felt that I was having to do too much to keep the card stable in my system. And after experiencing shutdowns at various points throughout games, you know, especially when it would be intense scenes, like, and the card would have to take on more load or whatever, it would just shut off. I mean, the game would restart. One time I even had my system just shut down on me. I was pretty scared. Sad day. Tears and everything. So I decided that this was not the card for me. It wasn't the card. It was me. I mean, you know, feelings change, people change. We have to move on in life. So I had to break up with the card because I felt that I was stifling the card from reaching its true potential, and that it would be better served in a system that would allow it to reach its maximum overclock without any tweaks. I personally felt that underclocking the card and making all those tweaks and system changes was the equivalent to taking a Maserati and down-tuning it to operate like a Corolla. I just felt that I was castrating the card, that I was preventing it from soiling its wild oats, which is why I had to break off that relationship. And as I said, it wasn't the card, it was me. My feelings had changed. The situation had changed. I needed another. So I called Alienware, inquired about the GTX 970 and whether or not the technician thought it would be a good fit for the X51 R2. And he didn't say yes or no. He just kind of told me that, hey, you know, we haven't tested that card in our system. We did test the 670 or the 760 or something like that, and that card was a viable option. But he did say, you know, just check the Dell website because they update and, you know, put on there, you know, new accessories and parts, namely video cards, that are compatible with that system. So I decided to check it out. So I went to the Dell website, and I found this. Under parts and upgrades, accessories, looking at graphics video cards, they have the PNY GTX 970 stock reference design listed as an upgrade version for none other than Let me zoom in, see if I can get this right for you. The X51 R2. I apologize if that is... Yeah, there we go. The Alienware X51 R2 is listed as being compatible with this guy. So, since Dell has said that their product is compatible with the card, I decided to take this guy and bring this guy into the loving fold and bring together this matrimonial union of this beastly card and this exquisite little system. And I could not be happier. It is an arrangement that has brought happiness to my gaming experience, because had this not worked, I would be building my own system. And some people may say, hey, well, you bought a Dell, why didn't you build it before? Well, this guy, the X51 R2 version, cost me less than it would have cost me to build a system of similar specs. The reason why, I got a great deal on it. So, anyone who says you should have built one, that's your opinion. I didn't. I got it. Eat one. Back to this guy. I put them together. I could not be happier with the results. I did not have to underclock the card. I could let the card be itself when it overclocks a little. I can sit on my EVGA Precision app or software, whatever you want to call it. And it doesn't cause my system to shut down because it boosts only to like 1177 megahertz. I guess the stock clock numbers are like 1050 or whatever. It works. I didn't have to underclock it. My Windows Power Management profile is set to performance, and I am loving every bit of it. It has played Far Cry 3, Crysis 3, Battlefield 4, Rise Son of Rome, Shadow of Mordor. Everything you can name, I've thrown at it. It has played everything at max, and it has played it flawlessly. Well, with Battlefield 4, I did have to adjust the, I believe it's like the field of vision down to like 150 from the 200, no, the resolution scale from 200% down to 150, because I didn't get lag, but it just seemed like a little slow. Well, that is lag, right? So it seemed a little slower, but once I turned it down to 150, flawless. I mean, everything was smooth, didn't have any issues. I have had no shutdowns. I've done intense gaming. My nephews have helped out, my wife have helped out. You know, we've played games, you know, just letting it go, just taking it through its paces. It is done flawless. So, in short, the GTX 970 by PNY, the stock reference version, works perfectly in the X51 R2. If you have questions about the X51 R1 version, those are questions that are better served by Irish Lad and L Master Gamer, because they have experience with that. So, this is my first YouTube video. Just wanted to put it out there, just for any inquiring minds. And yeah, if you like it, subscribe, leave comments. I answer any questions I can. And this is going into day 7, and it is beautiful. I will update periodically if I do encounter issues, but so far I haven't. I love it.